Welcome to Truth Discovery. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. The Nicaragua Canal was envisioned as a $50 billion mega project, an audacious plan to carve a new shipping artery across Central America. This ambitious endeavor aimed to rival the century-old Panama Canal, which has long been a critical conduit for global maritime trade. The vision was to create a new, more capacious route that could handle the ever-growing size of modern cargo ships. It would stretch 174 miles, dwarfing the Panama Canal, and accommodate the world's largest ships. The proposed canal would not only be longer, but also wider and deeper, allowing for the passage of vessels that are currently too large for the Panama Canal. This would significantly reduce shipping times and costs for many global trade routes. The project promised to transform Nicaragua, creating jobs and prosperity, and to challenge Panama's monopoly on global trade routes. It was seen as a beacon of hope for economic development in one of the poorest countries in the Western Hemisphere. The canal was expected to generate thousands of jobs, both during its construction and in the long-term operation of the new ports and related infrastructure. Backed by a mysterious Chinese billionaire, it was seen as a bold move in the global power struggle, signaling China's ambitions in the Western Hemisphere. The involvement of Chinese investors added a layer of geopolitical intrigue, as it was perceived as part of China's broader strategy to expand its influence in Latin America and beyond. The canal was more than a waterway. It included ports, an airport, and a free trade zone. These additional components were designed to create a comprehensive logistics hub that would attract international businesses and boost Nicaragua's economy. The free trade zone in particular was expected to become a magnet for manufacturing and export-oriented industries. For Nicaragua, it was a golden ticket. For the world, a potential game-changer in shipping and geopolitics. The canal promised to reshape global trade patterns, offering a new, more efficient route for the movement of goods between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. It was a project that captured the imagination of many, both within Nicaragua and around the world. But today, the grand vision is a ghost. Earth movers silent, financing vanished, and the dream stalled. The ambitious project faced numerous challenges, including environmental concerns, legal battles, and financial difficulties. As a result, the once promising construction sites now lie abandoned, a stark reminder of what could have been. The Nicaragua Canal stands as a cautionary tale of ambition colliding with economic, political, and environmental realities. The project's failure highlights the complexities and risks involved in undertaking such a massive infrastructure endeavor. It also underscores the importance of careful planning, sustainable development, and the need to balance economic ambitions with environmental and social considerations. It's a story of how building the future is never easy, and the stakes in controlling global trade remain sky high. The Nicaragua Canal project serves as a reminder that while the rewards of such ventures can be immense, so too are the challenges and risks. The quest to control global trade routes continues to be a high-stakes game, with nations and corporations vying for strategic advantages. The dream of a new path between the seas remains just that, a dream. Despite the setbacks, the idea of a new canal through Nicaragua continues to captivate imaginations. Perhaps one day, with the right conditions and support, this dream could become a reality. Until then, it stands as a testament to human ambition and the enduring allure of creating new pathways for progress. The idea of a Nicaraguan canal is centuries old, stretching back to a time when the world's oceans were the highways of empires and global trade was reshaping continents. The dream of carving a waterway through Nicaragua has fascinated explorers, engineers, and world leaders for generations, each seeing in it the promise of fortune, power, and progress. As early as the 16th century, Spanish conquistadors recognized the region's unique geography, a narrow land bridge with vast lakes and rivers, as a potential shortcut for ships traveling between the Atlantic and Pacific. They imagined a canal that could change the course of history, making Nicaragua a crossroads of the world. In the 1800s, the United States came remarkably close to choosing Nicaragua over Panama for its transoceanic canal. American survey teams mapped the terrain, treaties were drafted, and a transit company even operated a route across Nicaragua, proving the project's feasibility. For a time, it seemed inevitable that Nicaragua would become the gateway between oceans, but political intrigue, international rivalries, and fears of Nicaragua's active volcanoes ultimately tipped the decision in favor of Panama. The world watched as the Panama Canal was built, but the Nicaraguan dream never truly faded from memory. For the people of Nicaragua, the canal became more than just an engineering project. It was a symbol of national ambition, a vision of prosperity, and a hope for a brighter future. The idea lingered in the national consciousness, representing both untapped potential and the possibility of transformation. Throughout the 20th century, the canal proposal resurfaced again and again, each time reflecting the changing tides of global politics and economics. Yet despite renewed interest, technical challenges and shifting alliances kept the dream just out of reach. Until the 21st century, when booming global shipping and China's economic rise brought new urgency and new players to the table. The 2014 proposal, backed by Chinese investors and Nicaraguan leaders, was the boldest attempt yet to revive the centuries-old vision. It promised to reshape not only Nicaragua but the entire global shipping landscape, reigniting debates about sovereignty, environment, and the true cost of progress. Understanding this history is crucial. The canal was never just a business venture or a piece of infrastructure. It was a dream woven into the fabric of Nicaraguan identity, a vision of transforming a nation and its place in the world. The story of the Nicaragua Canal is one of missed opportunities, shifting global power, and the enduring allure of a shortcut between oceans. Each attempt, each setback, and each revival tells us something about the hopes and anxieties of the era in which it emerged. Every new proposal reflected the dreams, fears, and ambitions of its time, whether it was the promise of economic growth, the threat of foreign control, or the hope for national renewal. The Nicaragua Canal was always more than a project. It was a dream that refused to die, a vision that continues to inspire and challenge, echoing through the centuries as a testament to human ambition and the enduring power of hope. At the center was Wang Jing, a Chinese telecom magnate with little experience in global infrastructure. Through his company, HKND, Wang secured a sweeping 50-year concession from Nicaragua, promising transparency and environmental responsibility. He claimed to have the financial muscle for the $50 billion project, but never named his backers. Skeptics wondered if Wang was a front for Chinese state interests, especially as the project aligned with China's Belt and Road ambitions. The Chinese government kept its distance, but the canal was widely seen as a strategic move. When Wang's fortune collapsed with the Chinese stock market, the project stalled, and Wang faded from view. The grand ambition was left in limbo, with more questions than answers. In December 2014, Nicaragua broke ground on the canal with great fanfare. President Ortega and Wang Jing promised it would double GDP, create 50,000 jobs, and lift millions from poverty. The canal would dwarf Panama's, handling megaships and transforming Nicaragua into a logistics superpower. The plan included ports, an airport, a free trade zone, and resorts, an economic corridor to attract global investment. The project was framed as a declaration of sovereignty, a break from U.S. dominance, and a partnership with China. Hope soared, but the promises would soon be tested by reality. The unveiling projected strength and progress, but beneath the surface, doubts lingered. The nation's hopes rested on a project that was still just a vision. Despite the grand launch and the world's attention, the canal project quickly stalled, leaving behind only traces of its ambitious beginnings. The groundbreaking was mostly symbolic, no real construction followed. The ceremonies were grand, but the reality on the ground was a stark contrast, with little more than a few shovels in the dirt and empty promises echoing in the air. The biggest obstacle was clear: no financing. Investors hesitated, banks closed their doors, and the project's financial foundation crumbled before it could even begin. Wang Jing's fortune, once the driving force behind the canal, evaporated in the 2015-16 Chinese stock market crash. The collapse wiped out billions, leaving the project without its main backer. Without credible investors or transparent studies, the project was seen as too risky. International experts raised concerns, and potential partners backed away, wary of the mounting uncertainties. By 2018, HKND's offices shrank, communications ceased, and the canal was dormant. The company's presence in Nicaragua faded, leaving only empty offices and unanswered questions. Government officials grew silent, and the project existed only on paper and in faded signs. The bold vision that once filled headlines was now reduced to bureaucratic silence and forgotten paperwork. The silence was a stark contrast to earlier promises. Where there had once been excitement and hope, now there was only disappointment and confusion among the public. the failure left broken promises and lingering questions. Local communities, once promised prosperity, were left to wonder what went wrong and if the dream would ever return. As one opposition lawmaker put it, the project never met reliability requirements. The lack of transparency and accountability doomed it from the start. The dream collided with financial reality. Without money, it was dead in the water. The grand vision was no match for the harsh economics of megaprojects. The Nicaragua Canal became a ghost project, haunting the nation as a reminder of what could have been, and a lesson in the dangers of unchecked ambition. From the start, the canal faced fierce opposition from farmers, indigenous groups, and environmentalists. Lake Nicaragua, Central America's largest freshwater reserve, was at risk from dredging, pollution, and saltwater intrusion. The project threatened to displace up to 120,000 people, many from indigenous and rural communities. Protests erupted, with leaders like Francisca Ramirez demanding transparency and respect for land rights. The government dismissed critics and repressed dissent, fueling further outrage. Law 840, granting HKND sweeping powers, was seen as unconstitutional and a land grab. The environmental and social costs were never addressed, and for many, the project's failure was a relief. The canal's collapse spared Nicaragua from irreversible damage but left scars of division and distrust. The canal was more than an economic gamble, it was a geopolitical chess move. China's involvement, even unofficial, challenged U.S. dominance in Central America. A Chinese-controlled canal would have given Beijing leverage over global shipping and a potential military foothold. For President Ortega, the project was a way to assert sovereignty and align with a new global power. The canal's failure preserved the status quo, but China's influence in the region continues to grow. The episode revealed the high-stakes competition for control of strategic trade routes. The Ghost Canal remains a symbol of the global power struggle playing out in Latin America. Experts doubted the canal's viability from the start. The expanded Panama Canal already handled most shipping needs, leaving little demand for a rival. The $50 billion price tag, lack of transparent studies, and absence of credible investors doomed the project. Engineering and environmental challenges, cutting through a seismically active region and a massive lake, added to the risks. Many believed the project was more political theater than a real business venture. Some saw it as a speculative land grab or a geopolitical test by China. The combination of shaky economics, opaque financing, and technical hurdles created a perfect storm of doubt. In the end, the Nicaragua Canal was a dream never grounded in reality. Its failure was almost inevitable. The Nicaragua Canal's quiet collapse is a cautionary tale of ambition outpacing reality. It shows that vision alone can't overcome financial, environmental, and social barriers. The Ghost Canal left Nicaragua divided and its promise unfulfilled. Yet the global race for new trade routes continues, driven by the same forces that inspired the canal. New corridors, like the Zangezur corridor in the Caucasus, are being pursued to reshape global commerce and power. The legacy of the Nicaragua Canal is both a warning and a glimpse of the future. The search for the next great trade artery will go on, as nations compete for control of the world's pathways. The silent fields of Nicaragua remind us how difficult and irresistible that dream remains.